there, dolls. Welcome to Dee Dee's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a really good dish. It's a Portuguese dish, and I got it out of this, most of it came out of this recipe book. It's The Taste of Portugal, and it's by Edite Vieira. I believe they sell it on Amazon. It's got a lot of good recipes. The one I'm going to make, it's called a Portuguese roast beef, or in Portuguese it's called Alcatra. And it's very simple. It's just going to cook a long time. What you need is about 6 ounces of slab bacon cut up, 2 extra large Vieira onions cut up, some peppercorns and a couple bay leaves, salt of course, some cloves, a little white wine vinegar, which I never use this, but I'm trying to follow basically. About 6 or 7 cloves of garlic, you might not use them all at the same. And a chuck roast. It called for 6 pounds, it's a lot. I only did like 4.5, which is a lot too, maybe 5. And cut it up in chunks. Did I say red wine? Okay, it calls for pure red wine. What I did was I did half red and half white. I really don't like cooking red meat in red wine, but this is what the recipe calls for. Of course, you know me, I'm adapting it a little. Okay, now it's very low maintenance, okay? So what I use is a clay pot I have right here, and it has a cover. Sometimes they're in red. This one is, I liked it was in black. I actually got this one at Ciabra's the other day. I had a red one, but it was old already. So it says heavily greased. I'm not heavily greasing. I think this, it's gonna, oh, and this is gonna take, you'll see on the top, butter. So I don't feel I need to oil it inside, okay? So how you're gonna start, you're gonna put a layer of the onions on the bottom. Oops. And this is gonna be layered as we go. This recipe did call for allspice, and it called for cinnamon. My cousin told me she used cloves. So my husband is not crazy about cinnamon in any of his meat, like a main dish. I mean, he'll eat it in a dessert, but I was afraid of the cinnamon and the allspice, so I'm just gonna stick with the cloves. I mean, he doesn't complain, but one time I made chicken and the recipe called for cinnamon, and he goes, who puts cinnamon in food? That's for dessert or coffee. So I'm like, all right. Don't argue, he doesn't complain about much. Okay. So I got a layer of the onions in there. Okay. Just let me get a spoon for my salt because I'm going to touch that meat. And I don't want to be touching the salt and contaminate my salt. Smart, huh? Okay, now we're going to put some bacon. Just a few pieces. And I don't think I'm going to use all this bacon, because I don't want it to be like greasy. I've had this at when I had a place in Florida. My neighbor used to make it, and she was from Teseda, and she used to make it really good. And the secret to this is it cooks a long time. But you can do this like on a Sunday or a Saturday. Saturday a lot of people run errands, but I'd say on a Sunday. Now I'm going to layer some meat in there. I may be able now, I'm not going to get it all in one layer. I wish I could have. Well, maybe I can. I'm going to have to put a couple on the top. Maybe not. Okay, because this meat, as it cooks, is going to shrink up. And I had a bigger pan, but I really didn't want to do a lot. So as you can see, I layered all the meat in there nice, okay? So let me get a paper towel. Taping myself today, so well, lately I've been doing good taping myself. I have to give myself a pat on the back. Okay, now I'm going to put some salt over this. Can always add more. Can't take it away, so I don't like to put too much. Okay, we got the salt. Now I'm going to throw 1, 2, 3. Oops. I don't like to put the broken one. 4 bay leaves. Oh, we'll put the 5th one. Okay, now we're going to put some peppercorns. Said 6. I'm just going to put a few. 6 peppercorns. Okay, that'll do it. Okay, now you got to end the chop with onions, okay? Now I'm going to put a couple cloves of garlic here. It didn't call for garlic, but I added it. Probably all my friends that make this are going to say, that doesn't take garlic. But I put a little bit. Okay. And where's my cloves? Okay, we're going to put some cloves in here. She told me not too many. Dee Dee's got to be careful because you know how I can go. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting because I got to pick them out after, right? 8, 9, 10. Oh, let's go for a dozen, right? You know, maybe they do put cinnamon. I've had it and I've never tasted cinnamon. Okay, I think we got enough there. That's all I need is for it to really taste. Because I'm not putting the cinnamon or the allspice. Add allspice too. I'm like, that was a lot. Okay, so we got all that. Now I'm going to put some more bacon. Not too much. Just, I think that's good. Like 6, 7 strips. Okay. And I don't think I'm going to use all these onions because I have a smaller pan, so I didn't do a lot of layers, and I have less meat than the recipe called for. And it said you want to make sure the meat is immersed in the wine. Now you can do this. You don't have to use a clay pan. You can use a regular pot. That, like a roasting pan, okay? The thing if you use clay, which if you have clay, I'm sure you know how to use it, right? You got to soak it in water for 3 hours before you use it. I think we used enough peppercorns, enough bacon. Okay. Okay, there we go. And I put enough salt on the meat. I'm not going to put salt on the top. Okay, so now we got our spices in there, which was very minimal spices, as you could see. It was what? Salt, some peppercorns, garlic, and the cloves. So here I got 2 cups of a nice red wine and 2 cups of Sauvignon Blanc. The red wine I used is Pinot Noir because it's not too strong. And we're just going to pour it in. I'm dripping over here. The recipe calls, believe it or not, for 2 glasses of wine. So I'm like, okay, it depends what size glass you use. I know people that use big glasses. So I figured 2 cups to a glass. Some people would say, no, it's 6 ounces, but I have big wine glasses. Okay, so as you can see, I used most of that. Okay. Take a look. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, excuse me, my nose, my allergies are acting up. Oh, you're wondering where the white wine comes in. The white wine vinegar, which it says a tablespoon. I'm just going to put a splash here, splash, splash. I think that's good. And that's how I cook, dolls. Sometimes I guesstimate. So we're going to put the cover, okay? I got my oven. Let me see if it's heated. It's heated. This is how I'm going to start. This is going to cook 6 to 8 hours, okay? I started at 250. The reason why I started at 250 is because the clay can't handle all the heat at once. So I leave it at 250 for about 2 hours. Then I kick it up to 300 for another hour. Then I kick it up to I think it's, let me just double check. 375 for the remainder of the time, okay? And you can take the cover off now and then and stir it up. Make sure it doesn't need, if it needs more liquid, you can either add water, more wine, whatever to your tasting, okay? So I'm gonna see you in 6 to 8 hours my time. 2 seconds your time. See you soon, dolls. Okay, dolls, here you go. I plated the meat. It's nice and soft. Look, you break it with a fork. See that? You still get some juice in here from the wine. And I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes with it and some green peas. Give it a try. You won't be disappointed. It's the easiest thing. You just leave it in the oven. Okay, dolls, that's it for today. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification button so you know every time I post a new video. And we're going to see you real soon. Thanks, dolls.